So, beginner series 203. We talk about volume in this one. We have different types of volume. We have vertical volume, which is defined, or the definition is the number of contracts traded in a specific time frame. So it summarizes the market activity and liquidity and how much participation there is in a price swing. So it is the volume that you see on the bottom of the chart most of the time. So you have time frame, for example, 1 hour, then this candle represents 1 hour and you have this amount of contracts. You can also add numbers to this, but the interesting information is always about how far did the market move and how much volume is traded. Have there been, for example, big moves with not a lot of volume, or have there been very small moves with a lot of volume? For example, in this candle, you can see a doji with a lot of volume, which is a sign for acceptance because a lot of market participants traded, but the markets did not really move. But this is called vertical volume. But you also have horizontal volume, which is the things we use way more, which is volume by price, or also called volume profile. It's the number of contracts traded at a specific price level. And you can see it here on the left. And now we will dive deeper into that. So we have the volume, we have different price levels. As you can see, you have like the small, each price level is represented by one line, and you have buyers and sellers are equal because it's always a match. So there's the volume and there's the price. And that's it. We have a price, we have volumes traded on each price level, with price action, and we know how much volume is traded on each tick. A standard deviation. Most of you should know this from your time in school. So it's a statistical analysis where elements of a bigger and bigger sample tend to fall under a normal distribution that resembles a bell, or also called the Gaussian curve, which looks like this. So the logic behind this is the more samples you have, the more they tend to have or fall under a sign like this, or a curve like this, or distribution like this. For example, the IQ distribution shows the IQ of man versus woman, and you see we have some people that have a low IQ. We have a lot of people with an average IQ, and we have some people with a very high IQ. We have the same example for height distribution. So we have a lot of people with an average height, of course depending on the country, depending on the region, but this you can implement this to every region or to all the regions. We have some people that are very small, and we have some people that are very high, including me. I'm somewhere here. And we have standard deviations. So we have an area that represents around 70% of the elements or the numbers that are in there, and those 70% are called the standard deviation, and it's highlighted in dark blue, again furthermore in purple here. So this is called the standard deviation. So this is the median, so this is the middle, the average, and then we have standard deviation to the top and to the bottom, and this represents 70% of the samples. Furthermore, we have the second standard deviation that represents around 95% of the elements or of the samples, called second standard deviation, highlighted in purple again. And we have a third standard deviation that represents 99% of the elements, that nearly includes everything except me with 2 meter height, but sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. Standard deviation is also something we use in volume. And we know the standard deviation, or the first standard deviation in volume profile, is publicly known as the value area or fair value. So when you have a volume profile, you look for where are the 70%. So you have the highest or the median, which is most of the time somewhere in the middle, and then where is the area to the bottom and to the top and to the bottom where we have 70% of the volume. So there are different anomalies and different things we need to name in the volume profile. So we have a point of control, which is in the middle, which is the point of control where the most volume is traded. This is, in real, this is the VPOC because it's the point of control, volume point of control. We have a value area high and the value area low. So this is like the first standard deviation to the upside and to the downside. We have peaks in volume, which are called high volume nodes, and we have valleys in volume, which are called low volume nodes. So we have high volume, we have low volume. You could also view this here as a low volume node and this as a high volume node.